Welcome to the JCPod. I'm your host, Jane Chandler Parnell, and hey, we gotta start with another apology. Happy 4th, everybody, by the way. I know it's a little late and delayed. Hope everyone had a good 4th weekend and everything. Yeah, I won't even space you. I totally forgot it was July 4th. Yeah, time just seems to be disappearing. Just disappearing in general now, because it's crazy. Yeah, legit. Totally spaced. It was the 4th weekend, so yeah, there was no pod because of that Sunday. The 4th was on Tuesday exactly. No idea. So I was busy basically all day, so that's why there wasn't an episode out. So I want to apologize again. I would have gave a heads up if I would have realized it was the 4th, but literally at the last minute I had basically damn near no clue. So what that means for today is we're gonna save basically my NFL division breakdown and everything. I'm gonna touch on that basically at the end of the pod, but for those who won't make it through, basically I'm gonna start it next week. I'll go into a little more detail of like what I'm thinking, but probably not going to start until next week just for the simple fact that, yeah, it's basically already Thursday, so I'm going to give myself a little bit more time to finish up the plan. So I'm going to finish this week off, which is basically I'm about to read some NFL news, basically update some small stuff on sports that's been going on, and then, yeah, basically we'll start next week with some division talk. Potentially some baseball Sunday. Again, hopefully I think this Sunday we're both free, so we'll see. But without any further ado, basically, yeah, let's just hop into basically some NFL news. So like I said, I basically missed, there's been a week of NFL stuff for, that I basically missed. So I'm basically just going to go over some NFL news, talk about that in the show with basically my update for what I'm going to do for the rest of the summer, what the summer plan is, and yeah, basically without any further ado, let's just get right into the NFL news. So the first one comes up with Allen's and Diggs' minicamp situation blow up was out of proportion. So basically, this was the whole situation where Josh Allen came out and said we're fine. Diggs sat out for a little bit. This came out from Bustin' with the Boys. I believe that's the podcast Josh Allen went on. He's like, I love him. That's my guy. The media has blown this so far out of proportion. We are in minicamp. We're not playing a game for months. He doesn't show up one day. He's still there. Coach asked him to go home. We were in talks and discussions of trying to resolve some things, and it wasn't anything major, and the media just blew it up. They're still talking about it. Let it go. There's no reason to continue talking about it. The fact they just said the coach kind of sent him home there. Personally, for me, just hearing that, it's like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder why. Overall, though, I kind of agree with him. I think it was definitely blown out of proportion because it's minicamp. There's lots of people who don't show up, but because there's nothing to talk about in football, I mean, that's what people are going to talk about. It's like, oh my gosh, this guy didn't show up to camp, or this guy showed up to camp and he's only in his tennis shoes and this and that. But overall, I think I'm kind of in the same boat. It doesn't mean too much, but it's definitely something to keep your eye on because with the Bills, there's always something up. I mean, especially with that after everything that's happened last year, it just seems like there's always something going on there. So it's definitely a situation to keep your eye on. But overall, like I said, I'm still in the kind of the boat where I don't think the Bills are going to have the best seasons this year. I definitely think, yeah, I just think something's going on. So the fact that we're starting off the season like this, like I said, I kind of don't think it's nothing, but definitely not the way you kind of want to start out your season. It's just the media trying to force the drama. I mean, overall, it's still the Bills. I still think they're going to be good, but I don't know. By the way, also, too, I forgot to mention, I don't know if I mentioned it yet or not, you can wear number 0 in the NFL. I don't know how I feel about that. I was definitely a guy with the number rule change that I didn't mind it at all, personally. I think it's cool. I think guys should be able to wear whatever kind of number they want. High school, I wore single digits on the D-line. I thought it was really awesome. Probably would have done it in college, but it's to the point where I was already with the number for 3 years, or 2 or 3 years, so it's like, I'm just going to keep it. By the chance I got the number I probably wanted, but, I mean, like I said, regardless, I can see why people want to have the choice. I mean, you should have the choice to choose whatever number you want. I know, like, keeping certain numbers keeps it a little more quote-unquote professional for football. Like, oh, if you're in the D-line, they're going to have these numbers, but it is what it is. It's just a number at the end of the day, but like I said, some of the issues I personally have though is 0. Like I said, I don't care too much, but the fact that 0 is a number, just weird. It just looks like a little weird. There's nothing wrong with it in general. It's just like you said, there's nothing wrong with it in general. It's just overall, yeah, it's just different. It's just like, especially with NFL, like the picture I have here is of a running back wearing number 0. The running back has like no gloves on. He's wearing number 0, so it's just like it just looks funky, honestly. It's just a little bit weird. Saints Foster Moreau says cancer is in full remission. That's really awesome to hear. He was a guy that I want to say the Saints is who he went to. He went to the Saints, tried to get a medical. Basically came out that he had cancer, Hodgkin's lymphoma. And so he basically got that dealt with, and now, like I said, he's basically in full remission. He should hopefully be able to play again, which is truly awesome because cancer usually doesn't like to agree with you, and usually likes to fight back a little bit. So the fact that he was able to win, that's really, really awesome. Jaguars, Agnew is impressed with Ridley. He's a mismatch nightmare. That's going to be really, really scary for the Jags. The Jags were decent last year. The fact that they had Calvin Ridley sitting out for basically a whole year and couldn't use him. This year, it's going to be really, really scary. I'm going to go over... I think AFC South is probably one of the first divisions I'm going to go through, so I'm not going to just basically list out their whole receiving core. But they got some decent dudes over there. Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk's not bad. I mean, man, you get him like a Quentin Johnson type that the Chargers have, or a big body. Whoo, man. If they had a receiver like that, then that Jags offense would be... I mean, the Jags offense is definitely starting to get somewhere. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a decent year this year. I think he's going to step up and do a little bit better than he did last year. Just have another slight improvement because he was drafted number 1 overall for a reason. But, man, that offense is a few pieces away from being, seriously looking at it and be like, oh, my God, now that's they seriously are a few pieces away from looking like, holy shit, that's how good that offense is? I mean, because if you think about, the Chiefs, I would, overall, don't get me wrong, I definitely think the Chiefs are better than the Jaguars. This is not what I'm trying to say here. But if you compare the offenses, Kelsey probably beats their tight end, some of their receivers. You got, receivers, Calvin Ridley, I'd probably take over Sky Moore. Probably. Christian Kirk, probably take him maybe over Sky Moore. But you go, you do that and start comparing across the NFL, and just say you throw in, a Keenan Allen type or, a bigger body wide receiver there. I mean, they have an insane core. Dwayne Haskins was charged with aggravated... Or, sorry, not Dwayne Haskins, excuse me. Hassan Haskins for the Titans was charged with aggravated assault after an argument with his girlfriend started. Oh, my gosh. So, basically, according to this, it was... The girl liked another guy's photo, and this guy apparently decided to I can't even say that. Aggressively assault her, I guess, is the word that you do. But regardless, this is going to be something that's very, very serious. It's only a second. Hopefully it's nothing terrible. But, it said they stood up and they slapped each other. Green told police that she fell on top of the dog crate where Haskins was strangling her for a second time before letting her leave. That's where there's going to be a lot of trouble. Yeah. He's going to get in a lot of trouble for that. I think, when Miss Green stated that she went in the kitchen, grabbed knives because she was going to slash his tires. Miss Green stated that she was walking towards the garage. She heard Haskins cock his gun and said, "I hope you would." And she put the knife down. Yeah, if that's how it truly went, this guy's going to be in a lot of trouble. Don't get me wrong, I definitely think they're both at fault for the slap. If it would have stopped there, it's basically almost the slap part kind of reminds me of the Dana White situation where he and his wife kind of both slapped each other. They kind of both got it, and then they're both like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have done that. That's something that we both regret. They have to talk to kids about it. I mean, he's come out multiple times. I'm not defending him at all. You can't do it. Just can't do it. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things you can do in this world, and, you should get a second chance for, obviously. I think this is definitely one of the situations under certain circumstances. This one is going to be hard, man. Don't get me wrong. I guess she was going to slash his tires and everything, but the fact that he strangled her on a crate, and then it led to him cocking a gun when she was going to, man, bro, that's some serious stuff. He's going to get in some serious, serious trouble for that. Man, yeah, he's going to get in some serious trouble with that. That's all I can say. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully he and a woman either figure this out and they'll be good from this, or hopefully they don't. Okay, apparently it keeps going on, too. The argument escalated days later at a restaurant with each leaving separately. Once she returned home, Green told police she threw a cup. Oh, this is what went on with the two. Yeah, it shattered. So this is what I guess started it, and that cup shattered before closing bedroom door. She alleged Haskins punched and kicked the door in half. She said she grabbed and broke Haskins' necklace before they fought for her phone, which Haskins threw and shattered. So the fact that, by the way, the Green account, she added that she hit him with a broom. So apparently she hit him with a broom and jumped on him and tried to strangle him from behind. Haskins apparently threw his PlayStation 5 through a wall, too. I mean, I won't lie, the girl's definitely at fault, too. I doubt these two stay together, if that's the case. But, man, I won't lie, the NFL season's kind of, The NFL news is kind of like watered down. There's not a lot to talk about. Because I was going to look. I'm already like looking at the news-wise on the cycle. This was from 5 days ago. So I'm already like almost caught up a little bit. But like, man, that's some serious situation. I wonder if he's going to play this year. I assume he'll play a little bit, probably a little bit suspension. But the fact that he won't be, I don't think it will be as bad for him. Now it sounds like he was basically trying to do some stuff too. I drop a pen every episode, bro. Every episode. But yeah, it sounds like she's trying to do some stuff too, so it won't be as bad. But man, that's a bad situation. Mike Evans is coming for Jerry Rice's record despite the QB situation. Tampa Bay Bucks wide receiver who owns the record for most 1,000-yard seasons with 9 is only 2 campaigns away of Jerry Rice's historic mark for consecutive seasons with 1,000 yards at any point, which is really cool. I didn't realize it was that close. Yeah, I mean, he just needs basically, 2 seasons to tie 3 to do it. And, I mean, he's going to be a main target. I mean, the quarterback's going to probably, I mean, he did this when Jameis Winston was there. I mean, he did it before Tom Brady. So it's one of those things, like, I'm not going to be shocked if he does it. Because, I mean, he's proven that he can do it. And I almost think he's going to do it more than he wouldn't. Okay, listen to this. So this is from Jonathan Jones on questions to NFL gambling policy. I understand the rules are rules, but I can risk my life so that my team wins, but I can't risk 1K on my team winning. That's definitely something I agree with a little bit. Before I get to that, sorry, there's something came out. Devin McCourty apparently, the reason he retired is there's a shoulder issue, and this is apparently a quote that came out from Devin McCourty. A good friend of mine, Matt Slater, is there working out, and I was in rehabbing, so I'm like, all right. And I forgot what day it was. I was like, these next 2 days, I'm going to go in here, work out. I'm going to be working out now I'm thinking I'm doing kind of an old man workout, and I'm watching him. I'm seeing a difference between what he's working out and the way I'm working out. And I kind of knew from right there it was probably it. Then I went on vacation, just being with my family. I knew I didn't want to do it anymore. So, yeah, it's basically partially with a shoulder injury before I get back to the gambling situation. But, yeah, partial shoulder injury from Devin McCourty. With the part I just made, the different workouts, like, man, that sucks. I mean, that's just life for you, basically. Life just kind of humbling and being like, hey, your time's up, man. I mean, I'm sure he could have played and done a little bit decent, but it would have been the situation where it would have been probably the same that he was before, so he didn't want to risk ruining it, because he had a decent career. But yeah, overall, like I said, with the gambling situation, I definitely agree with, like, Jonathan Jones. They should be, like, don't get me wrong. I know why they can't do it, and I agree that they shouldn't be able to do it, but I also can see why not allow them to just be like, hey, I mean, I understand why they can't do it, but why can they not just be like, hey, you can only bet on your team, yeah, that's it. You can only bet on your team to win. You can't bet on them to lose. But, I mean, that's the whole issue is, like, what if there's going to be that one guy that's like, well, maybe I'll bet us to lose today just in case we do, and he doesn't have his best game. He could have been playing normal. Like, he could have had a normal game and everything. And, yeah, I mean, he could have just been playing normal and all that, but they lose. He happens to give up a play, and he wasn't even thinking about it. And then they check his account, he profits off it. I mean, sure enough, what if Jonathan Jones, basically, for example, what if Jonathan Jones is going for an interception, mistimed the ball a little bit, and he gets up the touchdown for the Patriots to lose, but he bet for the Patriots to lose. Like I said, I understand he's talking about betting his team to winning, but you got to look at the other side of it. This is mainly why the NFL's not doing it. Because, yeah, if he bets his team to lose, and then all of a sudden they look at his betting account and it's like, that's suspicious. Even if he didn't, like I said, he could have just simply mistimed the ball. You know, one piece of turf is out of place, so when he goes to jump, he doesn't get the best jump he could, and boom, he's labeled as a cheater because of that. Same thing like the Colts player. It's out now that the Colts player bet an over-under on the Colts running back, and other than the Colts backup running back for like 2 or 3 weeks when he came in and had a low number, most of the Colts running backs this year like didn't hit their overs. There was like maybe 6 or 7 times all season that the Colts running back hit their over, and that's being generous. I think it was probably around 6 or 5, and the Colts player bet on over-under for a Colts running back. That's where the issue gets into trouble, is because they say, oh yeah, you can bet on your team to win. Somebody's going to bet on them to lose, and it's going to become this whole thing. It's like, well, I thought. So, I mean, they basically just have to nip in the butt. Can't even think about letting these players bet on their own team, which makes sense, obviously, yeah, but, I mean, it kind of does suck that, like you said, they're putting their body on the line. They should be able to, you know, try to make a little bit of extra money on the game, but that's what you can do when you're retired, basically, because, yeah, you can't do it. Can't do it. By the way, Holmes and McKeltry won the match. I haven't been on since that happened. That's pretty awesome. I got him at plus like 220. The Curry and Clay were favored by a lot, and Mahomes and Kelsey just got work done. I mean, hey, decent by them. Left tackle Cam Robinson for the Jaguars suspended for PEDs. Yeah, that's at least he wasn't gambling. That's one of the. Yeah, I mean that's what everyone's talking about. I'd rather them take roids and throw games. That's what a lot of the comments are talking about, which is exactly back to kind of my point. Because yeah, he's gonna lose. Cam Robinson's gonna lose roughly about $900K a game, and yeah, he's the highest paid player on their roster. So that's a lot of money he's gonna be losing. Wow. So J.J. Watt's going to be joining CBS's studio analyst. That should be really, really cool. Just to get more insight from him, because he's a very, very smart football player. Has a lot to say about, I mean, and he's one of those guys, too, especially towards the end of his career. He's come out a lot more, and he's a lot more of a shout. He's talked a lot more. I'm definitely curious to see, like, his view of the game from his eyes. The pass rusher, Rashad Berry, and then the Colts cornerback, Dave Rogers, they both got cut last week, basically, the second they got put up for the year ban. They got immediately cut by Chris Ballard. We made the following roster moves as a consequence of the determination that the players violate the league's gambling policy. That's what Chris Ballard said. The integrity of the game is utmost important, and that's why at the end of the day they aren't going to allow players to bet on the game, because why? That's another thing I guess I didn't put enough emphasis on. Why would the NFL allow their players to make more money on the game when it risks losing everything? Because NFL, like, at the end of the day, I hate to say it, but the NFL truly does not care. It's like having a piece of paper. The second you fill out the piece of paper, you need a new one. So what they do, they move that one to the side, grab the new one. That's basically what they do with NFL players. Like, don't get me wrong. They love the Peyton Mannings. The NFL loves the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Brady's that come through and make, like, decade decisions for them and, like, decade-making moments for them. But second they're gone, man, there's a whole new batch of guys. And, like, now we got Lamar, like, the NFL already has Patrick Mahomes. They're like, oh, look at Patrick Mahomes. This guy's the greatest. Like, they understand what Brady was, but they just don't. I mean, it's all about money, man. And at the end of the day, NFL's a business, and they keep going like this. And so whatever, they're going to try to keep going like this, and they aren't going to allow gambling to slowly, like, they aren't going to allow gambling to mess anything up like that, or the players to mess it up. So I can understand why they, like I said, I can keep understanding why they want to do it. It's definitely weird to think about, but the more you think about it, the more you understand, like, the integrity of the game and all that. Speaking of, offensive lineman Nicholas Petit-Ferry is going to be suspended 6 games for violating the gambling policy. Seems like a lot of people are just violating this policy. A lot. Like I told you before, there's going to be more, and there just continues to be more. Sounds like he bet in the facility, so that's why that happened. So Kevin Byard's in a good place now with the Titans after taking the pay cut request. He added that when my agent reached out and had a conversation, it was very easy to be emotional, because if I'd be lying if I didn't say I felt a certain way about it, but at the same time you can't be emotional about the business, he said. He didn't take a pay cut, signed a 5-year, $70 million contract in 2019. He's set to have 19.6 hit the cap this year and 17.8 hit the cap next year. So yeah, it sounds like they're trying to just save a little bit of money in cap space. He didn't really do it, but he can understand why. And yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I wouldn't want to take a pay cut either if I'm making that much money, right? Making a lot of money. That's basically where I'm going to end it, NFL-wise. Some big news just to come out. Sports-wise, Damian Lillard is going to request... before I get to that. But yeah, basically that's where I'm going to end NFL news today. I'm going to just basically, real quick, touch on some stuff, big stuff that happened in the sports world the last week I wasn't on, and then I'm going to finish it up with basically updating you on the rest of the summer plans. So yeah, like I said, Damian Lillard is requesting a trade. He wants to go to the Miami Heat, but it's not fully confirmed. So this is odds-wise according to this is from the Score. So the odds according to this are the Heat are minus 300, Celtics plus 550, Blazers 700, Sixers 900, Sixers 1,000, Nets 1,200. I mean, the Heat are the most logical fit. I agree, but Miami doesn't have a lot to offer. Like right now, it's coming out that Jovic, Hero, Lowry, and a lot of picks are the main offer, but that doesn't sound like it's gonna be enough for the Blazers. But the fact that there's not a lot of suitors in play because of the new CBA ingredients, Just the way, I mean, there's a lot of the new CBA agreements. Some teams have already traded, and like the spot that Damian Lillard's in, they don't need a guard. Like, there's just a lot going on with him that, I mean, I just don't see how he, at this point, like, I just don't, if he's going to get traded, I don't see how it's not the Heat. Just from the simple fact that I don't know who else is going to, like, offer him that he'd really want to go. I mean, I just don't know who's going to offer him the place they'd really want to go. Because, I mean, the Nets are up there, but they are basically like the same as Portland right now. He said he didn't really want to play with Joel Embiid, so. Excuse me. It's really like, yeah, he's only very, very limited. Ricky Fowler ended up winning a tournament for the first time in 2019. Really, really awesome for him. Because it was a long time coming. He was basically, I think it was 2019, so it was a long, long time coming. Ricky finally won an event, had an amazing whole 18 to force a playoff, and it was truly, that was a truly awesome thing to finish watching. Some big news about the Angels. Shohei has a blister. He's out for a little bit. Trout is out for a little bit with a fractured wrist, and I think they lost Rendon or somebody else as well. So, really, really scary times for the Angels who are trying to keep Shohei. It sounds like he's probably going to be in trouble. I mean, like, injury-wise and everything, but something shocking. I just got another issue of you really can't be doing this shit. Jimmy Cordero is suspended for the remainder of 2023 after just domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse policy. I mean, Jesus, man, you really, like, he got the trifecta right there. Bullshit. I'm trying to see. There's no justification for domestic violence. There's not at all. Yeah, he should be suspended for the year if he did all this stuff. Yeah, there's just, and the guy's 31-year-old pitcher. In fact, this will cover 76 games. Domingo Germán had a similar situation where he got an 81-game suspension. So, what an idiot, man! Yeah, you can't be doing that. All-Star Weekend's this weekend, basically, for the NBA, or not this weekend, sorry. It should be, I think, the next weekend for MLB, so we got the Home Run Derby coming up and all that. Should be a lot of exciting fun, man. I'm going to try to turn it from that Cordero point, because my God. I think it's the first time in show history I've had to talk about 2 domestic violence issues. Just can't be doing it, man. I mean, truly, like, you just can't be, especially, like, you shouldn't be putting hands on people to begin with, especially, like, not your partner to begin with. I mean, just, man. Come on, man. That's probably where I'll end it about today, though, is just, yeah, there's some announcements. I guess, you know what, before I end it, I'll announce the MLB All-Star team, I guess. If I can find this quickly. We'll see. So there's some, Tampa, so, I can't find this, man. Here, I can at least give you the date. So the All-Star is 2023 All-Star game will be played July 11th. So yeah, that's next. I guess this weekend. Man, I'll tell you what. I'm so messed up on time and everything. Yeah. So All-Star is this like upcoming week, Home Run Derby and everything. Should be a lot of fun. But like I said, to end the show, I'm basically going to describe what's going on for the rest of summer. I'm gonna have some baseball talk for sure. Like I said, hopefully like this Sunday I can have my boy Rowan on, talk some baseball with me. We'll see. If not, I'm going to plan to have him on maybe on a Wednesday during the week or sometime upcoming here soon. But basically, with him, when it comes to baseball talk, that's probably going to be the last you hear of baseball talk from me, personally, for most of the summer. Like I said, I'll still be touching on it, some rankings here and there, like where teams are at and all that. But I'm basically at the point now where I'm going to be, it's July. Sorry, I dropped my pens again. Every damn show, I'm telling you. But no, basically, starting this year, because now basically it's almost football time. I mean, most teams report to the camp in 20-some days. So over the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm basically going to be breaking down all of the NFL and everything. I don't know if I'm going to break down college too much. I'll just kind of like I'll definitely talk about some teams I like, some futures and everything. But that's basically going to be breaking down a bunch of divisions every Thursday for sure. There's going to be a division talk. You might get some Tuesday here and there if I plan it out and I need to make sure I get everything out on time. I hopefully should only need to do them on Thursdays, but might need to do them a little bit earlier. But like I said, that's going to be all the NFL talk and the NFL division breakdowns. For college, I'll talk about college a little bit. I just don't. College is a little more sporadic than the NFL, so there's a little bit more chance. I don't know. There's a little more chance for wild stuff to happen because of the way they schedule and everything like that. So that one's will be a little bit harder to break down, but I should still be able to do it. But that's basically gonna be the plan for pretty much the rest of summer, man. It's just gonna be a lot of football talk. We finally got through the lull a little bit. There's still gonna be some dead time where there's not a lot of news to talk about, but we're almost there, man. We're almost there. But again, thank you everybody for watching. So that's the plan for the rest of the summer, starting next week. I don't know if I'm gonna do division breakdown on Tuesday. I might. I have 8 divisions because I do have 8 divisions to break down. I shouldn't need to on Tuesday, but there's a chance I do. If not, I'll be on the lookout. NFL futures are going to be upcoming again here soon. I'm going to do round 2 of my NFL futures look through before we do the final round 3, massive look through that I'm going to be planning towards a little bit towards the end of the summer. But be looking forward to look through that the upcoming weeks. Tomorrow I'm going to appear on Captain by Hook with a red beard with my boy Rowan. I didn't appear last week because he had some stuff going on. That was a crazy chaotic week. Like I said, I kind of forgot it was the 4th, so family's in town for both of us, stuff like that. Totally spaced it all. That's on me. But like I said, hopefully this week go back a little bit normal. Appear on his show Friday. Might have him come on my show Monday or Wednesday next week. But past that, you'll see me on the regular feed on Tuesday and Thursday. Thank you everybody for watching. Again, I want to apologize for only having one show this week. Kind of got cut off by the holidays, but I will see everybody next week. Hopefully we're back on a normal schedule. And yeah, basically, assuming nothing crazy hops up or anything, we're back on a normal schedule. We're under 70 days, about 65 4-ish days away from NFL football. Can't wait much longer, man. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll see everybody tomorrow with Captain by Hook Red Beer. I'll see everybody on this feed Sunday, potentially. And if not, for sure see you Tuesday.